sealing the fenders. So I need to go home. Well, I'm going to go out to dinner with my grandma. Well, she's going to take me out to dinner, and then edit a video for Monday. But um, yeah, I'm really happy with how the mold, how far it has come, and it's really, really close to being able to make parts. So I, it has been a long process, and I feel like this is why other YouTubers have failed at making their own carbon fiber parts, is because it just is very tedious, very time consuming, and that's just pretty much where it ends. They see how long it takes, or they try to rush it, and then they just don't get good results out of it, or they just never make a part because they never get to that point. So what I ended up doing was sticking the roof or the mold back on the car, and this will be in a video. I'll make a mold, but I'm bracing. So instead of using wood, I have it kind of keeping this straight, but I would have had to heat up the wood, or not heat it up, but steam the wood. My friend Chris was telling me about steaming wood and then bend to the shape, but then it would still be wood. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pretty much crisscross this. Tomorrow I'll do another one, and then the next day I'll do the center ones. So it's kind of like a star, and that'll give it a lot more, it'll make it more rigid, because this did have a little bit of flex when it was off the car, and that little bit of flex will in turn end up in the part, which if it was flexed a little bit, it'd be a nightmare to bond it to the roof, because then I'd have to put something to weigh it down, and it'd always have that kind of that spring in it. So this just is going to take 3 more days, which unfortunately I was really hoping to vacuum bag the roof tomorrow, but we'll a little bit more time won't hurt anything. So let's see what you guys are saying. Hi, what's good, man? Not much, just trying to get this roof done. I can't wait to see it. If the roof turns out as good as the mold turned out, well, it should turn out as good as the mold turned out, but if it turns out as good as the mold turned out, it's going to be a really nice roof. So, and this is the largest mold I've ever made. I'm used to making smaller ones. It just is a lot more time consuming. I think it'll be in the video on Monday, but I pretty much started working on the mold at like 5 p.m. and then didn't sit down, and I got done at like 11:30. So just laying down fabric, resin, mixing it. It was just very, very time consuming. So evening, Dave, what's going on? Trying to make carbon fiber parts back a long time ago. I didn't turn out too well, but I'm definitely looking to eventually try again. So it's really just about taking your time when you're making a mold. So the mold is the most important part, other than the plug. So the plug has to be perfect to make the mold perfect, but if you rush any of those steps, you're not going to have a good part that comes out of it. So it's just very time consuming. I've been working on, it took me, after I started the new roof, it took me a week to do that. It took me 2 weeks, I think, or a week and a half to make the mold, just because I was waiting on product for so long. I think it was maybe 2 weeks, but it should have only took me a couple of days. So, it's like 3 weeks right there, just in the mold and then the part, plus a lot of money. So it costs a lot of money to make a mold. To make the part, it's relatively cheap, but you have to recoup your costs back for making the mold. So that's why most carbon fiber hoods and everything are, $1,500 or pretty expensive, because they're recouping the price of the mold. It's not the materials to make the hood, because it's only probably like $300 to make a carbon fiber hood. But I probably have $3,000 to $4,000 in making the mold. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't done all my figures yet. I still have a lot of leftover material. I should be able to do the hatch as well. So maybe $3,000 to $4,000 to make the mold for the roof and the hatch. But the roof is very large. So it's just one of those things. How's the weather? Not too bad. Hey Dave, this is Sis Sis from New York. What's up? That seems hard. Another Sunday with Dave. What's going on? Hell yeah. Can't wait until it's finished. Been watching from day one. I can't wait to get the roof mold or get the carbon fiber panel out of the mold. That's setting that on the car is going to be cherry on top. It's something I've been waiting to do for a long time. And I've actually decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the roof mold or do the part, pull it out of the mold. I'll seal the car sometime this week, and then I'll bond the roof to the car and then paint it. So I want to get that, because I'm gonna have to panel bond it. I want to get that seam where the panel bond will be black if I just paint the car first and then bond the roof, and then panel, that panel bond is just gonna be black. So I'm gonna paint that part, which I think will look a lot better, have a lot better finish, and then it'll just be a lot more time clearing it when I clear the whole car, because I'll have to clear the roof and all that stuff. But I think I should be able to get the car in sealer, because I just finished the fenders. Should be able to get the body in sealer by the end of this week, so I can paint it next week, and hopefully I can make the carbon fiber panel for the roof this week as well. We'll see by the end of this week. Trying. Big up man, representing South Africa. What's going on? Let's see. Hey Dave, I've got an off-subject question for you. How do you spend your week? What I mean is, how many hours do you spend filming versus editing versus working? So I pretty much work on this thing. I get down here at 8 in the morning, then I pretty much work on it all day. I might go over and hang out with Trevor for a few hours or something a day, but and then I go home at 5, and most of the time I'll come back. So after I go home for dinner, I'll come back. I only spend an hour there, so I'll get back here at like 7 or so, and then sometimes stay till 9, sometimes stay till midnight. So pretty much working on the car every day for quite a bit of time. And then when I edit videos, if I'm going to edit a video, I usually wrap stuff up here around 8 or 9, so I can go home, edit a video, and then most of the time I'm always going to bed at like midnight or 1 in the morning, and then I only sleep for a few hours, because if I sleep too long, I get really tired when I wake up. So I just decided it's better to just wake up when I wake up and then just get the day going, which is usually around 7 or 8. So, and then in the morning I'll look at my stocks and stuff like that before I come down to the shop too. So hi from Lithuania. I don't know why I can't say that word. What's going on? John Wick, what's going on? This is my first stream. I'm watching from you. What? Watching from you. Just always watch the vids of this build. It's so unique. Thanks, I appreciate it. Let's see. What advice would you give to someone trying to resurrect their YouTube channel? Just post all your videos, Ronnie. That backlog you have, maybe if you posted some of them, like that TikTok of Ty, I think your YouTube channel would just be just fine. So just load it up. Load it up. Let's see. Jeepers Dave, every time I see you go live on Sunday, it shocks me how quickly the week flew by. You're telling me. I work on this thing every day, and I'm like, man, it's Sunday again, and it just feels like I feel like I accomplished a lot during the week, but at the same time, when I look back at the week, at how fast it went by, it's just like, man, it's already gone by. I don't feel like I accomplished that much each week. So even though I know I did, it just is one of those things where I feel like I should be further ahead, but I'm just doing so much, and it just takes time. When do you think it'll be done? I said that it'll be done by spring, because I want to do a lot of events, and I'm still planning on that deadline. So once this carbon fiber roof's done, the rest of paint and the finishing up the final little touches on bodywork should go relatively fast. Building an engine isn't that big a deal. I should be able to just put a new tranny pan gasket in that Trackhawk tranny and it work. Other than wiring and stuff and interior, the interior might not be 100% complete, but the rest of the car, it should run and drive by spring, and it should be fully painted, look good. I need to figure out, I'm looking for a company that can do some paint protection film after the paint has cured for the 30 days. I think it's a month that it has to cure. And then I want to have it 100% paint protected. And I've seen a few different films that actually have self-healing ability, which I really, really am interested in. So I've reached out to a few companies, and hopefully they message back, and I could either buy the film, or I could maybe just go down to, drop the car off at a place, which I'm very reluctant to do, and have them do all the film, because I don't know, it'd have to be a very I don't know, I can't say words today. A very good place to, because I'm not dropping this thing off to just anybody. Let's see. Are we able to see the Barracuda in back? It's just it's one of Josh's customer cars. It's not, I don't know, it's just getting body worked, and it just needs to be primed. He's gonna probably prime this thing sometime. He keeps talking about it, but I don't know. All he has to do is prime it and then block it out, and I guess it's done. But it's not too bad. So there's quite I kind of want one of those Lincolns. I need to keep looking. I want to do something with one, which would be kind of cool. I think I want to resto mod it and do a few newer things to it. Hey Dave from Danville, what's going on, Robert? Let's see. So glad you don't let the haters bring you down. They just make you strong. Keep up the great work. Thanks, man. Carbon fiber interior panels. So I do want to match the carbon fiber from the roof. So the roof, the hatch, the wing is going to be the same color carbon. And I want to pretty much, and maybe the mirror caps, somebody commented about doing the mirror caps, but I'll probably paint the ones that I have for it right now, and then I'll make some molds. Those will be pretty easy to do because there's no negative angles on it. It'll just be a one-piece mold. And then I could make the mirror caps to match the roof. I want to also do the gauge cluster surround and the trim that goes around the shifter bezel, or the shifter bezel, and get all that to match, and maybe some other accents. I'm not exactly sure yet, but definitely want it all to match. So it's going to be a lot of work, but all the interior stuff will just be after the fact. After I get the car running and the interior's done, I'll go and make a mold and then make some carbon fiber pieces, so the car is 100% complete, and then I'm just kind of upgrading the stuff that I want to change. Let's see, just a random question, but why not make the mold out of fiberglass instead of carbon fiber? So I wanted to try this system, and I tried it on the FC fan shroud, but I bought enough. So the intention was to try the system on the roof, but then I had some issues when they didn't ship enough fabric, and then I needed more resin, so I had to order some more resin and stuff like that. So I just made the FC fan shroud first. But this is high temp, so if I wanted to, I could technically vacuum bag the roof, which I'm going to vacuum bag it anyway, but then I could stick this mold into an oven and I can make dry carbon, which would be really nice. But at the same time, it's a roof and it really doesn't matter. So maybe with the FC fan shroud I might do that, but we'll see what happens. I really don't see a need to make any dry carbon parts, but it would be cool. They would be the lightest that they could be, because it would be pre-impregnated carbon fiber, which I wouldn't have to worry about resin or any of that. Vacuum bagging it still gets a lot of the resin out of it, but at the same time, pre-impregnated carbon fiber fabric is the lightest something can be. And if you could technically autoclave it, even though it's not going to be in an autoclave, but it gives you really light parts, which is nice. And that's why I did the roof out of carbon fiber. It's going to be really light compared to a factory steel roof, but dry carbon is the lightest. So, and it's really strong comparing it together. So let's see. When are you starting on the carbon fiber rear hatch? Will you make a carbon fiber hood as well? So I'm not exactly sure about the carbon fiber hood. I'm very reluctant to put a carbon fiber hood on any car that goes over 150 miles an hour, because I've seen multiple, and I've experienced carbon fiber hoods, the latch is breaking. If I made my own carbon fiber hood, maybe, because I'd make that latch piece very big. Most of the time the latch mechanism, it's just that little U thing, and they're just TIG welded on, or they're tacked on, or there's some kind of welded on, and that's usually what happens, is those break off, and then the hood starts to catch air and then just destroys the car. So as you guys saw, if you watch the Rob Dom with his RX-7 race the Unicorn, it's exactly what happened. Some air got under the hood, which I think that was because he didn't have any ducting in his engine bay, was mostly the cause of that. But it just, caught the hood, lifted it a little bit more, and then more air can get under it, and then just destroyed his roof. So I'm really reluctant. I would love to have a carbon fiber hood, and at the same time, I don't want to, if I have a carbon fiber hood, I don't want hood pins on it, just because I don't like how they look. To me, they look tacky. So if it's not going to work like the factory one, which is aluminum, it's light anyway, I don't know. I really don't want to mess with it. So Dave, are you ever going to have a collaboration? I might. I know a few different YouTubers. I mean, I just work on this stuff so long, and I'm kind of in the middle of the country, not really close to anybody. So maybe one day. I mean, we'll see. I really haven't been reached out to, by anybody. So, and there's no reason for me to reach out to anybody and be like, hey, you want to do collaboration or anything like that. So maybe one day, but I want to get the charger done, and that's my main focus. I've been really putting off a bunch of other stuff except buying cars, but really putting off a bunch of other stuff to finish the charger, because I want it to be done, and I want to, I have to have it done because it's going to SEMA. So, it's my main focus right now until Canadian border opens up and I can go mess with my Stagia. So I do plan on flying to Canada, flying to Canada to mess with the Stagia. I'm powder coating a spare set of RB26 valve covers that I have, and I need to order the stuff to do an oil pump and a timing kit, so it's 100% safe. I'm also talking to Customs to see if I can get it in early before the 25-year rule, since it is a 260 RS and it's a low production option on it. We'll see what happens. I need to get all the supporting documentation from the dealership this week, and then kind of go from there and see what I can do. You're a true car guy. Thanks. What's going on? Plans for the 3000 GT. So I actually tried to paint some stuff yesterday for the 3000 GT. Not exactly sure what happened, but I must have had I don't know, I cleaned the booth and everything just had dust in it, which I don't know. It just I'm just going to repaint all that stuff I just painted because it bothered me. I was going to paint this skirt too, but um, I don't know. So I need to pretty much 600 grit all that stuff again and get it all ready. I'll 600 grit the side skirt and get it ready. Maybe paint that stuff this week, but I was planning on having the whole passenger side done. But you know, sometimes it happens. I might have had, you know, some dust might on me or something. I also need to order a paint suit. I've been looking at some. I'll probably order one today because when I paint the Charger, I want to clean this paint job, as clean of a paint job as I possibly can. So, and I'm getting tired of, you know, when you clear stuff, you just kind of feel like you're staticky, which I don't like. So, it's probably not good for you either. So I'm gonna order a paint suit probably when I get home today. Hey buddy, what's going on? Not much. You? Okay, what's your plans for all those interior parts like the door, moldings, column cover, headliner, window trim, etc.? They're all just going to be factory Charger Hellcat stuff. Love all the work, buddy. Hella cool stuff. How's the old FC you got running? It's running good. I was thinking about driving it yesterday and I just ended up not. I really kind of want to paint the car. I like how it looks, but I think it'll look really good the same color as the Hellcat because I still have some paint left over. I think I have enough paint to paint the car, which I'd have to see how much I have because if I ran out, then stuff would match. But yeah, I really want to kind of paint it, but I'm probably gonna wait to do it for a little bit. So it's nice. It drives, and I don't have any issues with it. The Barracuda is in really good shape, especially compared to the rusted ones here in Florida. Yeah, that's one reason I kind of don't want to move to Florida. I've had some friends ask me about moving to Florida, and I'm just like, it's just humid. I really don't like the humidity, and that's pretty much it. I mean, that's pretty much why I don't want to move to Florida. I don't want to move to Tennessee because of that. Any of those really humid places, I like it dry. Like when it's hot out and you go under a tree and the humidity, it's still super hot because of the humidity. Here it's like it's 100 degrees out, but if you go in the shade, it's like nice and cool. And the breezes are cool. I don't know. Humidity just doesn't have me. Hellcat mini van project. Hello, Dave. Happy Sunday. What's going on, family, and what's new, Dave? Not much. Just really been messing with the Charger for months and months, like 9 months now straight. Let's see. The other car in the back is a 60s Continental. It is. It's like a 63, I think. Hi, Dave from the UK. What's going on? EcoBoost Lincoln. Sure, why not? No, I'd put something a little bit bigger in there than an EcoBoost. Hey, Dave, when could we expect your next video on the Charger? Monday. So I'm going to try to get the video up tomorrow. Loyal sub from Minot, North Dakota. We plan on making a trip down to Colorado soon. Any chance you accept visitors to the shop? Would love to see these projects in person. Yeah, I mean, just DM me on Instagram when you're down here and we can meet up. Let's see, Tony Anderson. Hey, Dave. What's up, Tony? Let's see. What's up, Dave? Love watching these Q&As. Sorry if this has been asked before. It is going to be hard to get all the modules in the car to communicate with each other. Any custom coding? I think the only thing that's going to be an issue is the transfer case on the Trackhawk transmission. Everything else should just plug in. All the harnesses interior wise should be identical. Well, I'm going to use all Hellcat Charger stuff, so all that stuff should be 100% the same. Everything should just bolt in and play well with each other. But getting the Trackhawk transfer case to work with the Hellcat ECU is going to probably be pretty difficult unless Dodge reaches out and I can work with Dodge. But that is one thing I'm kind of worried about. If I can't get any support from Dodge, I'm probably gonna just make like a piggyback system or something like that controls the transfer case and detects when wheels are slipping and stuff like that, and then just engages it as I see fit, and then I could have it so it turns off and on. So since it is electronically controlled. No hail damage. Hey Dave, love the channel. Keep on doing what you're doing from Jamaica. Thanks, Dean. Do you smoke pot? Not really. I mean, I have, but I don't know. It's not one of those things. I don't really have an addictive personality, so I'll do something and then it's not really worth spending the money on, so I just don't do it. What's up, Dave? Shout out. It's coming along well. Thanks. Can you show me this 3000 GT? It's at my shop. So, and this is Josh's shop, so I'm like a mile away from it, but it's just chilling. There'll be some videos on it pretty soon because I want to finish up the paint work and stuff like that and get it 100% put together. I also want to do paint protection film on that, and I'll probably do a carbon fiber hood on it, but we'll see. What's happening with the RX-7? Which one, the FC or the FD? The FC is just chilling. The FD, I need to redesign some stuff on the intake manifold, and then I need to have that intake manifold CNC machined, and then I need to have the K-series intake manifold CNC'd. Are you color matching the interior to blue? No, I want to do, I really like the caramel interior that the newer Hellcats have. Is the Stadia all-wheel drive? And if not, are you going to swap it? So it's an original 260 RS, so it's pretty much an R33 GTR because Autech swapped everything into it. So it's 5-speed manual, has RB26, all-wheel drive, all the bells and whistle. It has the Super Hikis crap, which I'm probably going to delete, but because I deleted it on everything that I have. The 3000 GT had it, I deleted it, and it's just a bunch of extra power steering lines and fluid and stuff that I don't want to have to deal with. So there is a few things that I want to do with it. I need to figure out what's done to it first. I probably will do some head studs, new head gasket, probably go single turbo with it because the twins, it's just one of those things. It's just really cluttered on that side of the car because of twin turbos. But at the same time, since it is a 260 RS, I kind of want to keep it stock, but at the same time I don't, because I don't keep anything stock. But we'll see what happens with it once I can go to Canada and mess with it and see kind of what it has done. It has all those Japanese electronics that you always see on the auction cars. So it'll be interesting to see. So what color leather are you going with the Charger? The caramel color. Do you plan on putting the Rampage logo on the interior of this car? If I do that, I'm going to have to do custom seats or have it custom stitched. I'm not exactly sure how that works. I'll have to go to a upholstery shop, and there isn't any where I live that are any good. So I'll have to probably go to Denver. Hopefully there's something good up there. What do you think of Sam Crack's i8? Thought it would, hold on. Oof. i8 bought it with knowing he may need an engine for it. i8s have engines? I didn't know that. I thought they were all electric. Love the Stagea life. Have owned 3 in the past. Mad Dad Wagon. I mean, they're just cool. It's like a cool car that not very many people know about. I'm really reluctant on swapping the R34 front end on it, just because, you know, like I said, it's a pretty rare car, and you have to cut out the core support and put the R34 one in there. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Get a paint suit from the Gunman. He's a YouTuber if you need to find his stuff. Do you have any concerns about water intrusion at the points atop the A-pillar where the carbon fiber roof will meet the steel below the windscreen? Urethane sealer, any details on the drip channel? So it's just going to overlap the factory metal. So it's going to be bonded with panel bond. Pretty much the factory roof has some of that panel bond or like a sealant kind of thing on there anyways. And then it's brass brazed, I think it is. It's like or brass welded or something like that on those terms. But it's going to pretty much do the same thing, and it's going to be glued on. And then the window is going to go over it and be glued on, so there won't be any issues with water getting behind it. Because panel bond is pretty durable. And then I'm going to also have clear over all that stuff. Plus I'll put some seam sealer on the edges, just like it would be from the factory. So I don't see any issues having any water get back into the car. And then I won't have a sunroof, so I really won't have to worry about water getting into the car. Almost missed out. Glad to see you still moving forward on the roof. Yeah, I mean, that's really I was thinking about it in terms of, do I want a roof that is 2 pieces welded together, and then I have to weld a bunch of other stuff together to make it look right, so it has that same look as, you know, it still has that same factory look, which it was doable, but it would have been a nightmare. It would have been a million pieces welded together. This way, with the carbon fiber roof, it is 1 piece. It's going to be light. It's, you know, I can't stamp a roof out of steel or aluminum or anything like that, like the factory can. So this is the next best method, and I think it's a lot better method than having a metal or factory roof or something like that. I've almost been thinking about ordering a roof skin for my Challenger and then making a mold out of that, and then having a carbon fiber roof on that, like get some red carbon fiber, and I think that'd be cool. But let's finish the Charger first. We'll see. A Hellcat minivan. How about that picture? Granny pulling up and blowing the doors off someone's car at the light. Let's see. I need a good laugh this week and was looking at the other build and was going to, hold on, and it's going to lack quality. I find it funny that they're using your work to further their hack. Which other build? I'm not exactly sure who you're referring to, but yeah, what other build that there is going on? I don't think anybody else is building one of these that I know of, I guess. Let's see. Would you do a Viper build? I was actually looking at a Viper at the auction a couple months ago, but it kind of went too high. It was pretty destroyed, and it still brought like 55 grand, and I was like, nah, I'll wait for another one. Any plans to replace your pickup? It's once this is done, I have some plans. That pot question was so random. Well, I live in Colorado, so it's like a normal question, like in Colorado, about the pots. are the wheel hubs ABS sensors, V6 charger sensors, or are they Trackhawk? I'm going to use the charger one should bolt into the Trackhawk. I think they're all pretty much the same sensor, Hellcat, Trackhawk, stuff like that. So, but I am using Trackhawk hubs or Trackhawk hubs and knuckles and stuff like that. So, I mean, if they're not the same, I should just be able to pin in new connectors to use the Trackhawk ones, but it's all the same information. Let's see. Greetings from Norwogan. Sorry for the what? I think bad English, maybe? I'm not exactly sure. Is that Norwegian? From Norwegian? I don't know. Sesh with Junkyard Dave channel coming soon. Do you have any experience with one great fittings for what? I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Blew the motor on my 06 Magnum RT. I want more power than stock. What's your suggestion? I would just get a wrecked scat pack from the auction and then just swap charger scat pack from the auction and then just swap everything over. It's really easy. The car looks great so far. Keep up the good work. Thanks. Can't wait to see the caramel guts playing off that blue color. It's going to look beautiful. Good job, Dave. Thanks. Hold on. Will you do Hellwagon badging? No, I'll just... So a long time ago, I designed a emblem and then I 3D printed it. I'm going to make those emblems and pretty much just incorporate it into the car. So I decided, I went forward with the name Rampage just because of what it is, and I think it's a really good fit for the car, and I'm just going to continue that throughout the I'm probably not going to have any badging on the back, but with the taillights I might ghost it in with some paint. And then I'm not exactly sure on the front fenders if I'm going to put the badges or not, but in the grill I'm going to. And then, on the display, I want to figure out how to change that startup screen so it has the emblem and everything. Let's see. From Saudi Arabia, I just want to say you're doing a great job so far. Keep it up. Thanks. Hit the like. Thanks, Tony. Sorry for all the questions. Do you have another YouTube channel other than this one covering some of your other projects? I just pretty much have all of my projects on this channel. They're just in older videos right now. Let's see. Did you get the gas pedal you need installed? Yeah, so the gas pedal does fit. I was just worried about it hitting the drive shaft tunnel, which it's pretty much fine. I thought it was going to be an issue, but I might actually move it over a little bit, but that's not too big of a deal. So we'll see. How many hours a week do you work on projects for YouTube and on your videos? Do you have other revenue income streams? If so, what are they? So I do a lot of, I don't know, I do stocks and I do a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, I pretty much am always working on YouTube stuff and, building this and building other things and filming and editing and all that stuff. So that stuff pretty much pays for this stuff, which is cool because it's what I like to do. So Let's see. Love the car, man. Thanks, man. Let's see. Is there anything keeping the Hemis from revving to like 9 to 11K? Love the 80s, 90s F1 sound. How do we get there with Mopars? So really, there's a few factors in that. So there's valve train, which I think probably you could get there with, springs, like a stiffer spring, some titanium valves. You just really want to make the parts lighter. So titanium valves, valve springs, and then for the crank, forged crank, some, titanium rods, some lighter pistons, and that's pretty much really what keeps any V8 from revving really high, and the stroke. So the higher it revs, so on like a Hellcat, the higher it revs, you would want it stroked less. So you'd almost want, F1 cars, their pistons really, they're also really light. They have all kinds of technology in that, but they're not moving very far when they're going up and down. They're just pretty much kind of going like this instead of like a Hellcat or something where the piston, has a long stroke. And then if I do a 426 and stroke it even longer, you're really having the piston really far out there, and it has to bring it back down, or it's bringing it back down. So it's just one of those things. The lighter you can make the stuff, the higher it can rev, because there isn't so much weight. So the further out it gets, it builds up more weight, which sometimes is why you see pistons and rods break apart and stuff like that, because they over rev them and the piston just kind of continues to go, or it breaks the rod, or it's just physics. There's what am I trying to think of? There's stuff to kind of there's formulas to figure out all that stuff, but pretty much that's the thing with any V8. So the other YouTube I found was from Real Transformations, and they just mainly swapped the front end from what I saw other day. Like I said, it's not a worry. Yeah, I think I've seen that orange one. A lot of people were sending me links to it and like, oh, this guy already beat you to it and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, just a front end swap. It's all right. Just settle down. $95 people, 67 likes. Step it up, people. Thanks, Jim. Dave is the only wagon build you need to watch. Hell yeah. Thanks, Tony. How much for a wrecked scat pack, and do I need to do dash trans ECU swap for my blown Magnum RT? Yeah, just swap everything in it. They're usually, I've seen them going lately for like 15 grand for Charger scat packs. So like 15 to 25-ish, depending on how nice they are. And I'd kind of get one that isn't super wrecked. If it's wrecked in the back, it's a little bit better. If it doesn't set airbags off, that's even more of a plus, because then you could use all the seats and everything, and then you don't have to worry about any modules. And then if they get wrecked in the front, there's ABS pump and lines and all that stuff that you don't want damaged, and harnesses that you don't want damaged. So just just get a wrecked one that's wrecked but not super wrecked, because you need all that drivetrain stuff. Let's see. Where did you get the inspiration to blend two cars together? So I actually built the Challenger Hellcat. Then I had that leftover swap. So I built the first Magnum, which I found that car in the auction in California, had it shipped down, built that car, and then I wanted to build a newer one. And then I just decided, I'd find a Charger. I found one, got it from the auction, then started cutting it and figuring out what I needed to do. And then I got another Magnum. I should have got a title with it, but the people, kind of screwed me out of the title. So I cut the roof off of it as a wrecked Magnum anyway, and then just started this whole process, which I'm really pleased with how far it's come, and what it looks like right now and where it's going. But this has been planned for pretty much like a year and a half, almost 2 years. So I'm just really glad that the project is moving forward. And I think a lot of people that watch my channel are pretty happy that that I'm actually going to finish it, and that I haven't just, it is a lot of work, and I just could have at any point just been like, something, I'm just going to do something else. There is a lot of YouTubers that just fish almost. They'll buy a project and see how it goes and whatnot. But, at the beginning, this project really didn't have much, not very many people really were looking at it. And, now that it is what it is, and we're at a point where it's almost going to be painted in a couple of weeks, that people are going to be more excited and more pumped that this thing is painted, and they're actually going to be able to see it with the wide body flares and bumpers and all that stuff on there. And it's going to look like a car finally. So, we're getting there. It's laughable. They think it's a real swap. They might as well have just kept it stock. Oh, hello from Jamaica. Great job, as always. Keep on doing you. Thanks, Andrew. I appreciate it. Hi, Dave from the Springs. Car is looking great. Thanks, Tommy. Emblems usually represent the engine. Okay, I mean, it's gonna have a 426, but with a Trackhawk transmission behind it. I think it's gonna represent. I think the emblem is gonna represent the swap that's in it. Enjoying the build. Thanks. Boring. Oh, okay. Well, there's a door. See ya. Let's see. Dave, are you for sure doing the hatch in carbon fiber, or might you leave it as is? The hatch is going to be carbon fiber. The only reason behind doing the hatch out carbon fiber is it's so much part of the roof that it would just look weird painted. So that's really the only reason behind doing it out of carbon, because the metal hatch is completely fine. But at the end of the day, I would rather the whole roof be carbon fiber instead of it being, half carbon fiber and then, half painted, or, two-thirds carbon fiber and a third painted, or however you want to think of it. I think that's mostly how it would look at the end of the day, and people would just think it was kind of tacky. So all carbon. When do you think the engine get dropped in? After I get painted, after I get all the subframes made, then I'll throw the engine and transmission and all that stuff in. Is the Trackhawk and Charger wiring harness that different? Like, would it be easier to use the Trackhawk harness for your build? So the Trackhawk interior is very, very different, and the harnesses are very different. The engine harness is very different. I'm gonna need an engine harness because I might need an engine harness. We'll see about that. But the engine harness, pretty much all the harnesses are 100% different. So I think the best thing is to use a charger harness and integrate. The one thing that I need is the Trackhawk transfer case electric wiring. So Joey Smith donated $5. I appreciate that. What was the most difficult? What was the most difficult about swapping the interior and motor from the Magnum? Did you have to mess with the computer a lot or modify the inside of the car? So really the only thing that I did with that was I took the seat brackets out of the Challenger that I had and put them into the Magnum. Kind of the same thing. You don't have to, but if you don't, the seat sits up a little bit higher, which isn't that big of an issue. But and then there's one module bracket that's on the passenger side that holds the body control module. You just drill the spot welds out of it and then put it in your car, because there won't be a place to bolt it if you don't. Other than that, everything else just pretty much bolts in. Actually, everything else just bolts in, and there's not very much you have to do. There's a few little things that you have to wire different, but it's not that big of a deal. So I got two 2008 Dodge Magnums, already have one, but after your videos, I got a second one, same color, blue steel. Nice. Hell yeah. Why did you build your composite molds out of carbon fiber? Couldn't you have saved a lot of money using fiberglass? I probably could have used fiberglass, but it's a high temp mold. That's why it's made out of carbon fiber. So I could autoclave the roof if I wanted to, but I'd have to find an oven big enough that can hold the temperatures at a tight enough tolerance so it doesn't mess the mold up or distort it or anything like that. So I just made it out of carbon fiber just to test the system, which I'll probably make the hatch mold out of carbon fiber because I still have all the excess stuff. But or maybe I'll get a different system and try it out. But I just wanted to try the system out and see how it worked and how I liked it, and if I wanted to continue using it or not. I kind of have a few things that I don't like about it, but one thing I do like about it is I don't think it's toxic. I mean, it's probably toxic, but it doesn't give off like crazy fumes. So like when you're using other resin-based systems that are very, very potent, it's just kind of aggravating to have to wear a mask the whole time, or respirators, so you don't smell those chemicals. So 9K RPM, the G-forces of coming to a dead stop and reversing back down the cylinder bore are tremendous forces that the rods, rub bolts, and wrist pins have to contend with. Then there are valves. T-top Challenger next. Oh no, I don't like T-tops. No. maybe like a pickup Challenger wide body. That'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Just looked off. Hold on. Just looked on OfferUp one day, and there was one for 600 clean body. Oh man, what just happened? Oh no, it scrolled all the way to the bottom. Let's see. Hey Dave, I got a 2008 Dodge Charger. Hold on, what is going on with this thing? It keeps scrolling around. Let's see. Dodge Charger Daytona number 6 of 1600 having issues. 6 and 8 exhaust keeps fouling out. Only 68K been 2 times to dealer fix and doing it again. Is there any recommendations? So the issue with it's probably a 6.1, I'm guessing. The issue with those engines is they like to crack ring lens. If you don't keep up on the spark plugs, or if you use really like 85, 87, or really crappy fuel, it'll detonate, it'll crack the ring lens, then it'll burn oil, it'll foul the plugs. So you probably have, I do like a leak down test, or maybe put a bore scope in there, but most likely there's cracked ring lens in there, which is an issue, or worn rings, but I really doubt it at 68K. So I'd look more into cracked ring lens, and then you're gonna have to either get a bottom end or rebuild the engine, which you could just do those 2 cylinders, hone them out, make sure there isn't any scores or anything, and then just go from there. But most likely I would just rebuild the engine and just not have any issues from there on. Putting a charger front end and interior on a Magnum is like putting lipstick on a pig. Well, I'm gonna do that to my other Magnums, so it's not too bad. It's not comparable to what I'm doing. People, it's just not the same. This is a ton more work than just throwing a front end on another, like a stock car. It's like me, I have a Sylvia front on my 240, but I don't call it a Sylvia, I call it a 240. So putting a Magnum roof on a Charger with all-wheel drive is like shaving a Victoria's Secret's model's head and putting a wig on her. What? Can a K-swap made of fully eBay parts work? I'm sure it can. I mean, eBay stuff isn't that bad. Will the inner structure of the rear hatch also be carbon fiber? Yeah, it's all going to be carbon fiber. Can you give a shout out to my uncle Alpine Kenny Body? What? Kevin, it's a Magnum with Challenger and Charger stuff added to it. It's actually a I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. Mine's a Charger with a Magnum hatch on it. So it's a little bit different. Hey Dave, love your workmate. Good practice for when you pop down in New Zealand and work on my Suzuki's. See ya, Peter. When are you gonna let me rip it? I'm probably not gonna let anybody drive this car, so other than myself. Everyone else just does a front end swap, but Dave here is building the whole car custom, which has not been done before. Trust me on that. Hell yeah. You should do an updated Chrysler 300 wagon touring with your other mag. 300 wagons were released in Europe. So I don't know if you guys have seen in the news, but I think the 300 is no longer. I don't think Chrysler's going to make it anymore. Let's see. So it's almost an hour. I have some other stuff that I need to finish up. I need to pretty much pull Josh's Civic back in and push the Charger back in the paint booth. But thanks for tuning in to the live stream. I'll most likely have a video out of some more mold stuff. People have been talking about me making too many roof videos, but it's a process. So I'll have a video out tomorrow, and thanks for tuning in. See you guys in tomorrow's video.